Hello everybody, I'm Jess here and welcome back to Arifureta Season 2. I was just done with the intro when I noticed that it's not recording because I was still in the profile setting of the live stream, which you can check the VOD on my channel. I'm talking about what shows we'll be watching the next season, so might wanna check it out. And my hotkey to start recording wasn't a part of that profile, so I just didn't start recording. Thankfully, I didn't start watching the actual episode yet, so hey, that's something, right? Uh, so let me try to recreate what I was talking about all this time. Arifureta, the finale, and I will miss this series dearly. I didn't think I will. I honestly didn't. I honestly thought that Arifureta will be a guilty pleasure of mine, something that I enjoy ironically, the way kind of the first season was, something I enjoyed ironically. But no, I genuinely do enjoy Arifureta. It's been genuinely the most consistently good show this season, seasonal show out of those I've seen, right? Tokyo 24 took a nice nosedive from episode 1 and then kind of went back up. Sabikui Bisco had episodes 8 and 9, which were absolute and utter garbage. Those Frontline took its sweet time to wind up and start talking about some interesting stuff, and then it ended. So, not consistent either. Arifureta, sure, it has the benefit of being a second season, so they don't need to reestablish the world, reestablish the characters, and whatnot. But still, it only had like 2 moments where it stumbled. One moment it was when Hajime pulled the U-boat out of nothing, and in the light novel it was apparently said that he put it there preemptively, and a single sentence uttered by him would have saved that scene, but he didn't utter that sentence, so the scene wasn't saved. And then in just the previous episode, a similar thing with why did he not just execute the Megane girl, right? She was right there, and Hajime just let her go. Well, apparently, according to Cube in my Discord server, which you can join, it's open to everybody, link in the description. I have to start shelling at the beginning of my videos because nobody stays until the end. Hajime was panicking a bit because Yue is their best caster, and Yue was clearing the dungeon that Hajime and his friends cleared earlier. Yue wasn't there, but Yue also needs that magic, so she has to clear it. And the Megane ran away from Hajime when Daisuke distracted him, and then Tio needed Hajime's immediate attention, and so Hajime went for Tio, and he was distracted also by the fact that Yue isn't with them, and it was all in all a fair bit of a shit show for them, so that explains why she wasn't just executed on the spot. And again, just a single sentence or maybe a couple of sentences would have saved that scene, but nobody said any such sentences, so it wasn't saved. But those are the only faults I can find in this season of Arifureta, genuinely. It was a highlight of my week. Arifureta Season 2 and Symphogear. Those two shows I was looking forward to the most every single week. And that's crazy because I thought Sabiku Ibisco is gonna be the show. I thought Tokyo 24 has something going on there. But ultimately Arifureta won. In my heart. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about what happened in the previous episode. And what happened is Kaori saved the day, healed everybody, then she was killed, then Hajime arrived, and they will now try to restore, recover, resurrect Kaori. That's basically the summary of it. Hajime swoops in, kills all the demons, chases off the demon general, kills off Daisuke, which, great, I love it. I hope Daisuke doesn't come back. And yeah, that's where we're at. We now have to put our efforts towards reviving, resurrecting Kaori. The title of this episode is A New Journey, something along those lines. So I'm left wondering, what does it mean exactly? Will they set off towards the new journey, towards the last labyrinth, last dungeon, or whatever you want to call it? Will they set off on a journey to Japan? Will they set off on a journey to find Dragon Balls to revive Kaori? Right? There are many possibilities, and I'm not sure which one is the most probable one. I guess we're just gonna have to watch this episode to know for sure. So I'm gonna stop babbling, and I'm gonna turn off automatic white balance because yeah, the exposure locked. Yeah, exposure locked. Lock the exposure. Yeah, don't blink, please, because my camera is going wild in daylight. I don't know what it is with my camera, with my phone. It really goes wild in daylight. When I'm recording at night with artificial light, everything's fine. When I use daylight from my big ass fucking window, it has issues, and it's still flickering, isn't it? Okay, fuck it, don't love the exposure. You're gonna have to live with it. Nobody's looking at my face anyway, it's my commentary that matters, so whatever. I'm gonna give you guys some subs, myself some sound, of course, and we can start watching episode 12 of season 2 of Arifureta. Sekai de Saikyou, or whatever the fuck the title is, I already forgot. Version by subs, please, as always. And wait, is my camera zoomed in more than usual? Yeah, it was zoomed in much more than usual. I'm gonna zoom it out significantly. Technical difficulties. You'll have to excuse me. Uh, Come the fuck on. That's how you can tell I'm doing it live. There's no editing to my videos. None whatsoever. I'm doing everything live. Okay. We good? We good. So, again, we can start. Episode 12, the final episode of Arifureta Season 2, version by subs, please. And it's gonna be starting in 3, 2, 1, go. And this is some stinging nettle tea. Okay, we're starting straight from the OP. Interesting. Where's my mouse? Louder, please. Okay. Interesting. But oddly enough, I kind of have trust in them that they will end this season well, that the ending will be genuinely good. I don't trust the creators of Tokyo 24-ku that the final episode will be any good. If episode 11 was anything to go by, I had trouble trusting the creators of Sabiku Ibisco that the finale will be good. It was, but I had trouble believing that. Same goes for those Frontline. I didn't know how they could possibly end all those threads, and they didn't end all of them. They only ended like the most pressing ones. Here, I actually have trust that this ending, this episode will be good. And that's crazy because we're talking about Arifureta here. A new journey, yep. Huh. Interesting. Mm-hmm. That's why she only incapacitated them and was waiting to kill them in order. Hmm. So the king is also dead? Right, because he also was voided. And as we know, voiding isn't mind control, it's necromancy. Okay, so the king had to be dead. Yeah, I doubt we lost Kaori. I mean, we lost her, but not for long. Use your holy water. They're taking turns charging her up with magic or something like that. That's why Aiko is resting now. Huh? Oh, she's saying sorry to all the people that she killed with her methane explosion. I mean, not without reason. So, but true enough, you did kill two of her students already. Hmm. How would he possibly atone for his sins, though? Uh, I might be wrong here, but I don't think she had that knowledge. Or rather, she had the knowledge, but she didn't think of it, so. You do. I can hear it in your voice. Of course she will. Hmm. Oh. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. I was dehumanized. Don't you dehumanize yourself? Feeling regret, feeling doubt, those are human emotions. Don't reject them. Why is the sky going red? I guess instant sunset? Just add water? Why your back and not your chest? I guess with her height, it would be more like his stomach, but you know what I mean. They're right back to training, and she's pushing herself because she can't forgive herself that she allowed Kaori to be hurt. Well, you also lost your father. Oh, whoopsie, teehee. What the fuck, dude? Hajime is like the most trustworthy person in this entire fucking show because he has absolutely no ulterior motives and he's extremely straightforward. If there's anybody you can trust in this world, it's Hajime. Where's Kaori? Kaori Doko? Oh, my motherfucker, my camera. Uh, does she also have like white hair? Like Hajime? Is that it? Oh? Why does she look the way she looks? Okay, we're back. Camera is back. Wait, she looks like uh, that servant of God, right? Why though? Why though? I mean, I kinda get her looks. Sure, her looks might have changed, but at least take off the headpiece so you don't look like the enemy, right? Like, white hair is fine, different eye color is fine, but the armor? Like, if I was reincarnated looking like Hitler, I'd shave off my mustache and shave myself bald to not look like him. Okay, so it's a complete body swap. That doesn't explain why she kept the armor, though, but I guess uh, they didn't think to remove it or swap it or whatever. Wouldn't surprise me. Soul magic. Right. In the last labyrinth, they discovered soul magic. So that's the intended use. But I guess it makes sense. Okay, that's cool. Kinda sucks that it was entirely off screen, but it's kinda cool, not gonna lie. Join us! Hajime doesn't have enough waifus in his harem yet. He needs more. I mean, he's not wrong. Okay, he's warming up. I like it. I like Hajime's journey. I like Hajime's transformation. Yes, that's exactly what he's saying. No. Yeah, Hajime doesn't care. Hajime just wants to go back. Hajime don't give a fuck. No. Fuck that noise. Since I have power, I protect myself and mine. Hmm. Another instant sunset. Are they gonna pressure Hajime into helping? They're gonna pressure Hajime into helping, aren't they? They absolutely will pressure Hajime into helping. uh, Hajime is powerless against his waifus. Great sister? Yep, to the final one. Take us with you? We also want to get power? Hmm. Another waifu acquired? Because she doesn't need to. Because Hajime will do it regardless. You can do fuck all, my dude. Okay. I guess that's actually good thinking. You were anything but useless. You had Yue, you had your magic water, you had your skills to create weapons and whatnot. You were anything but useless, Hajime. Okay, so everybody's tagging along. Okay, everyone's tagging along. What's your plan, Hajime? Give them hell? Is he gonna do a Tanya? What's your angle, Hajime? Oh! I mean, don't get me wrong, that's very Hajime, but the music really doesn't fit the scene, does it? Come on, Hajime, eat their meat. The music is an absolute banger, but it doesn't fit the scene whatsoever. Bean. Oh! Okay, I'm afraid to see what she's doing with the. Okay, I was right to be afraid. Oh, you can do many things, Kajima. You shouldn't have said it. You shouldn't have said it. Pile driver time. Jesus Christ, Theo. She's really into anal, isn't she? I mean, she's not wrong. He's gonna tell her, oh, he's bringing the pile driver after all. Let's fucking go. Hey, that's what you wanted. That's what you wanted. Here's your reward. Uh, okay, we are 22 minutes in. How's it gonna end? He's thinking about something? Ruminating? Right, they also have to pick up Miyu. Miyu and Miyu Mama. Okay, so that's the end. So the new journey is their journey towards the final labyrinth and eventually towards Japan. For Hajime's classmates, it's a journey towards power. Hajime, you better have a bus on you, because they're not gonna fit into your Humvee. Do you have a bus? Okay, I wanna see the vehicle you're gonna use to transport them all, Hajime. Don't leave me hanging. I wanna see the bullshit you pull out of your ass. I guess not. I guess I'm not gonna be given the chance, the pleasure to see it. Well, that's a bummer. uh, that's a lot of sequel baiting, isn't it? I really honestly hope we're gonna see a third season. I really honestly do. But alas, that's it. So let's go through it again to savor our time spent with this episode and with this amazing, amazing series. Yeah, we know how it all transpired. She was scheming behind their backs for a long, long time. She even thought to use the corpse of that demon to come into contact with the demon race. Huh. The brainwashing and murder of our king is believed to be the work of the nun from the Divine Mountain who also kidnapped Aiko. And not Eri. Okay, so Eri didn't murder the king, but the king was murdered. Did the nun also have an ability similar to Eri's, where she murdered the king and then resurrected him while brainwashing him? Or was he actually genuinely brainwashed and not dead? The people around him were dead, but he himself was just brainwashed and he was murdered only later on? That's kind of unclear. I love the detail of giving her bags under her eyes. I don't know why, but it sticks out to me as a really nice, interesting detail. You don't often see that, especially not in characters this young. You see, like, old adventurers having bags under their eyes. You don't see lolly princesses having bags under their eyes. I like it. I really do. We lost Daisuke, Good, Reichi, he's just a no-name, and Kaori, well, not for long. Initially, I was confused what this dagger and those pearls are, but those are apparently things that the people at this monastery had on them, and she's just kind of, I don't know, praying to their things because she has regret that she killed them all, even though that was the correct thing to do. But Hiyama-kun, Daisuke, right? They can't be forgiven, but I wanted him to leave to atone for his sins if possible. How though? Right? That's the thing here. That's the question. How? If you put him in a dungeon, he has quote-unquote friends among the demon race, what's the guarantee that he won't be freed by them? He himself is a summoned person, a hero more or less, or a member of hero's party. I'd imagine restraining him and keeping him in a dungeon wouldn't be easy. You can't really rehabilitate him because at any given moment he'd be willing to stab you in the back. How can you hope to have him atone for his sins? Right? In like our real world, it's much easier to put something in a jail for life, for example, right? You can manage them, you can keep them under guard because there is no bullshit magic in the world that can disappear a wall of their prison cell and they can't fly away on the wings of a wyvern. In this world, keeping someone in jail for a long time, not feasible. Do you regret it? No. I couldn't let the church continue doing what it was doing. I don't have any regrets. That I want you to keep feeling guilty. I want you to carry that weight. Worry properly and complain properly. That's very human. Be a human. Continue being a human. Do not become like me. I can no longer feel those emotions, and I wish I could, so feel them for me. Do it, maybe not entirely do it in my stead, but you don't want to get rid of those emotions. Trust me, I got rid of them and I know that it wasn't a good thing. So if you feel guilt, feel that guilt. Embrace it. Of what it means to be a human. Yeah. You can be my example of what it means to be a human. I'll keep my eyes on you. Be my anchor. I will observe you. If something I do upsets you, that means I did something upsetting. I will know by your example. Be my beacon. I like this little moment. I like this little speech. I don't like how we get instant sunsets. Like, one, two frames, and it's dark. But the rest of it, thumbs up. Well, you've also lost your father. That's such a utterly wrong thing to say at such utterly bad moment. I'm in absolute awe. I can't trust Nagumo. How? I'm actually hoping Shizuku doesn't see them. How? Why? Like, I know that he wants to be a paladin of light and the ultimate hero who saves the world and whatnot, but don't be blinded by the light you worship. Hajime, as I mentioned during the show, Hajime is the most trustworthy person in this entire show because of his simplicity. He doesn't scheme. He doesn't need to scheme. He just pulls out a gun and blasts through. He won't betray you because he won't befriend you in the first place. If he does befriend you, though, you become a part of his family and he will not betray you. He won't use you by pretending to be your friend and then stabbing you in the back, because it's much simpler to just blast you in the head. He won't, scheme about gaining power and trying to get his favorite woman and becoming the king and getting a castle and whatnot. He just wants to go home. He has one singular, simple goal. And he has very singular, simple means of achieving it. I really like Hajime. I really like him. very refreshing. Very, very, very refreshing. I've been reading a lot of isekai mangas recently, and honestly, Hajime is probably my favorite main character. Honest, honest. I haven't been reading, Arifureta, just to clarify. I wasn't getting ahead of the show or anything like that. It's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men. Hell yeah. They arrive, but without Kaori. Why did Kaori arrive after them? Like, I get why they all arrived at the same time. Yeah, Tio is with them. So Tio detransformed, and everybody, including Tio, just fell down and landed. Why did Kaori not land with them? Is there again some detail that's been in the light novel but is missing here? Or is it purely for, like, cool factor and to delay the Kaori's entrance so that Hajime has the time to explain? Has it been actually explained in the light novel why she arrives later? Or did she fly here on her own? Yeah, of course everybody's distrustful, because she looks like that God's servant whose name I completely forgot. To explain simply, we used magic to protect Kaori's soul and implant it into Noint's repaired body. Noint. Okay, that's her name. I initially, when Noint was defeated, I wasn't sure if she was actually defeated, but apparently she was, and her body was just laying around somewhere. They picked it up, repaired it. She doesn't have wings. I don't know, can she sprout her wings again? Does she have only a singular wing since her other wing was removed by Hajime, or does she not have wings? That's an interesting aspect of having a brand new body. Yeah, the magic they use is inferior copy of the God's Age magic, but Hajime has access to God's Age magic, which means nothing is impossible. Yeah, she wanted to be stronger. Now, that raises a question. How much of your power is in your body? Right? That's an interesting question to have, interesting discussion to be had. Physical strength, sure. If Noin's body is more muscular, it has better reflexes, or her being a race of, I don't know, Nephilim or angels or whatever, makes her bones stronger or whatever, then sure, Kaori can enjoy those benefits of this body. But did her mana pool increase? Did her magic power increase? Is your magic aptitude tied to your soul, to your mind, or to your body? Right? Those are interesting questions, and I don't know the answer yet. I would be very interested to see if Arifureta ever answers those questions. Interesting. I'm still not sure why they made the conscious choice to just drop her in Noin's full gear, but I'm just gonna brush it off as they didn't think about it. They didn't have the time to do it. They just wanted to rush it, get her soul into the body, just come here and close that chapter essentially. And they didn't want to waste time to remove her gauntlets and her headpiece and whatnot. But I still believe it would have been a better idea to at least remove the headpiece and give her a cloak or something. Hajime can make those on the spot. He can make clothes and armor on the spot. It wouldn't be that hard. For him to even, transform the armor she has on her so that she doesn't look exactly like Noint. I wonder if she's gonna continue looking like Noint, or is her armor gonna actually see some changes. I really like it when in media there is some visual progression to characters. It's of course not the case with Arifureta so far. Hajime looks now the exact same way he looked at the very beginning. Well, not at the very beginning, but as soon as he got his arm and his clothes, he never wears any other clothes. Not a fan of that. I'll be honest. I'm not a fan of characters, of protagonists, and not only protagonists that have just a one singular costume throughout the entire series. I was overjoyed when Naofumi upgraded his initial bandit armor into his better bandit armor, but I don't think he's gonna continue upgrading it, and that makes me sad. I would love to see Hajime keep upgrading his stuff, his armor, and his team's armor. Right? Like, I don't know, give Yue some pauldrons, or give Shia some pauldrons, or, something. A little bit of an upgrade. Yes, you have been pwned, but you had no way of knowing it, and you wouldn't have believed me if I told you. That's another interesting thing Hajime says. That's why you end up with your face in the dirt at the most important moments. You have to want to accomplish something, then gather and wield power to do it. Aimless power is no power at all. That power has to take aim and has to be focused on something, on one particular goal. You have to be laser focused on what you want to achieve, and your power will amass in that direction, and you will be much stronger thanks to that. I like what Hajime says here. Another instant sunset. I was thinking that his scowl here was because he noticed some enemies arriving, and those enemies turned the sky red, but he's just scowling at the hero-kun, I guess. Bread. Yeah, we're going through the Empire, so we're gonna join you. I can't allow you to go with the princess. I need to protect the princess, Hordor. I need this I like. This I genuinely like. To do that, I need power, the power of God's age magic. I really like it. He and other classmates of Hajime are finally chasing quote unquote real power. They're growing. They want to grow and they will grow. They're not gonna just stay on the sidelines. They're not gonna stay just a bunch of damsels in distress. They're not gonna stay just useless background characters only there to be killed to evoke some emotions from the viewers. They will eventually become capable. I can see that happening. If Shia eventually became capable, so will they. That's the journey. That's the new journey. For Hajime's classmates, it's the journey towards power. Yeah, we want to join you, we want to be stronger. He's trying to use his classmates as meat shields and bait. He won't. He has a heart of gold. He might be saying that now, but as soon as anybody is in danger, Hajime will step in. They're gonna be scared, running away from monsters, they're gonna shit their pants, but when it matters the most, Hajime will step in. And I will be overjoyed being able to see that. Shenanigans, 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 shenanigans. And let's wrap it up, grab Miyu, and head over to the final labyrinth and head over to Japan. Beyond the gate, Nihon. We're clearing the Great Labyrinth. Yes, we are. Let's fucking go! Season 3 when? No, but genuinely. Arifureta Season 3. uh, here's everything. Asrid and Studio Mother have not officially. Okay, so it's not. It's unknown as of yet. Okay. Oh man. Oh man. Man, oh man. Oh man. Initially, I didn't know what this episode will be about because I thought that the new journey is very literal, that they will actually set off. Well, I guess they did set off towards the Great Labyrinth, which was one of the things I thought are gonna happen. Um, I thought that they might conquer the final labyrinth in this episode and travel to Japan, and it cuts off as they're stepping into the portal towards Japan, and that's the end of the season. That would be one hell of a cliffhanger, though. But the journey is. There's multiple journeys going on here. It's Hajime's journey towards the last labyrinth, and eventually towards Japan. It's Lily's journey towards becoming a new ruler. She's been just put into this position against her own will, and she has to step up. She has to talk with the Empire, and again, I smell shenanigans. I think when they're in the Empire, someone might be trying to assassinate her or something, and Hajime will have to get involved. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's Hajime's classmates' journey towards acquiring power, real power, the God's Age of Magic kind of power. It's also Hajime's metaphorical, metaphysical, I guess, journey from someone very closed and very someone who revels in solitude. He's slowly but surely coming out of his shell. And that was shown best when he showed concern for Sensei. He went there to talk with her. He had a really nice talk with her, and then he lent her his back to cry on. He's slowly but surely coming out. And also the fact that he allowed his classmates to join him. Back in season 1, he would have denied it straight out. I believe there were some classmates that wanted to join him, but he only allowed Kaori to do so. Now he actually allows them to join. And he might be saying that it's because he wants some meat shields and bait, but he doesn't mean it. That's not what he's gonna do. He's very much like Naofumi at the very beginning, playing the badass, playing the evil character, but deep down, a heart of gold. That's our Hajime. What else? What else? What else? Mm-hmm. I like one thing. No, that's more for like the serious impressions overall. That's where I'm gonna leave that thought for. More about this episode. It was mostly just wrapping up and some shenanigans at the end, so there's not much to talk about. Kaori being transformed into Noint, or rather inhabiting Noint's body. I wonder if it's gonna have some future repercussions. For example, if they face other servants of the god, will they recognize Kaori as Noint, and will be super weirded out about why is Noid on the side of the enemy or something like that. Again, the questions about where is your magical power? Is it bound to your soul or is it bound to your body? I have a feeling that Kaori being placed in Noin's body is gonna come into play in a significant way. Because let's be honest here, there isn't really a good reason to do that. If she stayed in her original body, it's entirely possible to grow stronger without having to inhabit another body. Right? Hajime did grow stronger by drinking the holy water and eating monster meat. If Kaori wanted to, she could have gone through the exact same thing. It would be agonizing, but a possibility. So it feels kind of like a very quick and easy way to give Kaori a power buff. But I'm not sure if I like it if that's actually all it is. If there is some deeper thing to it, if it actually becomes relevant that I don't know, now she can sprout wings and fly around, or maybe some fragments of Noin's consciousness still remain within the body, or maybe now she has a direct connection to the god, or something like that, right? If that actually becomes relevant, that's gonna be great. That's gonna be genuinely great. If it's just Kaori gets Noin's body because she wants to be stronger and that's it, not a fan. It could have been done better while keeping Kaori's body. What else was interesting about this episode that I would like to talk about? I think that's it. Honestly. I talked about what I wanted to talk about during the discussion segment, and now I talked about it. So I guess we can go towards the my impressions of the series as a whole, right? Right. So one thing that I wanted to mention before, but I thought it's going to be better mentioned here, is I like the way Arifureta tackles, especially in this season, um, tackles overpowered people coming here from another world, coming to another world. Usually in light novels, in manga, in anime, you see when someone gets isekai, they're the good guy, they're the hero, and they fight for righteousness and to save the world and to kill the demon lord and whatnot, right? Sometimes you get anti-heroes. Say, I guess Ainz would be more of a villain. It's hard to categorize Ainz, but sometimes you have someone like Ainz, sometimes you have someone like Tanya. But ultimately, no one is evil for the sake of being evil, quote unquote. And no one is a villain. No one of the people who arrive to the world from another world. No one of the isekai people. Arifureta is very interesting in that regard because power corrupts. And if you get isekai'd to another world and you get power, there's no guarantee that you won't be corrupted by it. And the Megane girl was corrupted by it. If she didn't have her necromancy powers, she wouldn't have done anything she did. If Daisuke didn't have his combat prowess, he wouldn't have dared to step against Hajime. But they did have powers, and it woke up their true selves, right? That's essentially the idea. If a good person gets isekai, they remain a good person. If a bad person gets isekai'd, they turn real bad. And that's something that I don't see tackled often, and I would very much like to see it appear in other series in other, manga, light novels, anime. There is a there's a manga I'm reading that does something about it. Kind of tackles multiple people being isekai'd in a very interesting manner. Uh, Seirei Gensoki Seirei Gensoki Spirit Chronicles. Um, it's a really cool manga. I can recommend it wholeheartedly. And it's cool because, to not get into any spoilers, in this world there have been arrivals from another world. Our protagonist isn't the first one. There are entire cities who grew and were established in power because someone who came here from Japan had the knowledge of modern times and was able to establish the city as the center of art and commerce and whatnot. He is not the last one to arrive. During the course of the manga, there are other people summoned there. And I really like it. Usually you see just a single character being summoned or a group of characters being summoned at one time, and that's it. That's the story. No one is summoned again. This particular manga, Seirei Gensoki, gets out of that and does something interesting with it. But one thing I'm also kind of missing, and if there is some manga or light novel or anime that tackles that, do let me know. Essentially, a world where the quote unquote demon lord is someone who arrived from another world, but someone who was evil when he was summoned already, and he got power and he became truly evil. And now they summoned another one, hoping that they're actually gonna be a good guy. And they have to clash because only someone summoned can defeat another summoned or whatever. But essentially the idea that when you summon someone, there's no guarantee they're gonna be a good person. I would like more isekai media to tackle that. As for Arifureta in its entirety, it really surprised me that it's probably the show that I enjoy, the seasonal show out of this season that I enjoyed watching the most. It was consistently great. Consistency is what matters the most here. Sure, there was some wonky CG, sure, there were some issues here and there, but art wasn't, great. It wasn't KyoAni class art, but it was very serviceable. It was very decent. I had no problem with the art. Voice acting, just amazing. Music, great. Sometimes misplaced, but overall, great music. Story, great. Actually amazing story. Arifureta is probably one of the best isekais I had the pleasure of experiencing. It really breaks the molds. It really tries to do something original. I think I might have talked about it during the first episode of Arifureta, but Arifureta does something interesting with the whole being a parody of isekai thing, is that it doesn't parody isekai solely by laughing at it, the way Konosuba, for example, does it. Arifureta parodies isekais by being quote unquote better, right? Not falling into certain tropes, taking some tropes and making them work, taking some other tropes and cranking them up to 11, right? It does a lot of that kind of stuff, and I love it. There's a lot of cookie cutter isekai out there that just follows the exact same formula. Arifureta certainly isn't that. It probably started off as solely a parody of isekais by cranking everything up to 11, cranking up the edginess, cranking up the weapons, cranking up the enemies, cranking up everything. But I have a feeling that as the writer was working on it and writing it, he came to build the world up more and more and more and more, and actually started turning it into a serious story. Something that goes way beyond its status as a parody. It started off as a parody, but it grew into something much bigger, much better, much more complete. And I like it. I really, really like it because the fact that it was initially very much a parody tells me that the author knows all the tropes and all the issues that isekais tend to have, so they will be subverted or avoided somehow. What else did I want to say about it? Not much more, I think. Just that I will be awaiting season 3 with bated breath. If we don't get news about season 3, I'm just gonna read the manga, I guess, and risk season 3 not being a blind reaction. I don't know. I don't know quite yet what I'm gonna do. But one thing is for certain, I'm gonna wait. And I hope it gets good ratings in Japan and it gets renewed for third season. If after season 1 they agreed to make season 2, then season 2 should ensure season 3 and 4. Let me put it that way. Yeah, honestly, season 1 and season 2 are like heaven and earth, except in the other direction. Season 2 is the heaven and season 1 is the earth. The earth of current day, which is close to hell, but not quite. Great story, decent art, amazing characters, amazing voice acting, some great music, some actual bangers, especially in this episode. CG, serviceable, much better than in season 1. Overall, very much enjoyed my time with Arifureta, and I need to know more. I need season 3, especially I need to see what vehicle will Hajime use to transport himself and all of his classmates with him. Because I don't think they're all gonna fit into the Humvee. He's gonna need a bus, a combat bus, or some APC or something like that. Maybe he has an APC already, wouldn't surprise me if he was prepared. But yeah, I'm gonna end it here. I've been talking for over an hour and my voice is getting hoarse. I don't know if you can hear it. I streamed today for another hour and then I had a lot of trouble with that stream getting it to a state acceptable for YouTube because the copyright holders don't like when you show trailers to their shows, apparently. I had to edit them out and whatnot. You can see the VOD if you go to my channel, and I might put it somewhere in the cards as well. We'll see. If it's not in the cards, it's on my channel. In that stream, I talk about shows I'm going to be watching in this season. For sure, it's going to be Symphogear, but some other shows are also coming. But now, leave me a comment down below. What did you think of this episode? What did you think of my reaction? What did you think of the Arifureta series as a whole? Are there any things in this episode that weren't there in this episode but were there in the light novel and might make my understanding of it better? If so, let me know either in the comments or on my Discord server, which is open to everybody. Link in the description. It's free, open, join, talk about stuff and things. It's a cool place to hang out. Subscribe to the channel if you want to be notified of future releases. Arifureta is coming to an end. Out of this season, we only have Tokyo 24 Cool, the finale left, so subscribe to be notified of that, of Symphogear, and of other shows that remain a mystery, and you will learn of them in due time. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. Share this video with people who you know would enjoy it, or with people who you know would not enjoy it, depending on if you want them to love you or you want them to hate you. It's your choice. As long as you share it, it's all cool, because the more you guys spread the word about the channel, about my videos, the more YouTube itself starts recommending them. That's it. That's it. My Patreon. If you want to support me monetarily, there's Patreon in the description. You can click and join, and for $10 a month, you get early access to non-seasonal shows. This time it's Symphogear, and it's gonna be one other non-seasonal show. So you get 2 shows for just $10 a month. Wow! It's like 2 times the content compared to previous seasons. It's a promotion. No, it's not. It is what it is. And for just $1, you get access to a special role on my Discord server. That role gives you access to a channel and to orange name of the color. Orange color of your name. And for $5, you get to vote in polls. We had the first poll today, which is what decided that other non-seasonal show we're gonna be watching. But now, that's gonna be it from me for today. I loved Arifureta. I want more. I hope you loved this series and you loved my reactions too. I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss Arifureta. But I have to end it here. I can't prolong it any further. So, as always, do all the good stuff. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Cheers. And here's another thing you get as a Patreon supporter. You get to be in the credits of my videos.